Gonna come for me. Here we go. Straight across the bridge, please. Up. There you go. And... Who needs to fight zombies when you can send them to the abyss of hell? G'day, guys. My name's Josh. You can call me Jawoodle, and welcome back once again to 7 Days to Die Alpha 17, where we are back in our favorite place in the world, Jawoodle Park, to continue experimenting with our brand new discovery, the zombie-proof invisible force field. One of my favorite things I've stumbled across in this game of all time, and I'm loving being able to tinker with it again and come up with new ideas. Speaking of Jawoodle Park, actually, there's actually some Jawoodle Park merch coming out pretty soon. I'm just like finalizing some of the design stuff and like discussing it with some of the Patreons on the Discord server, like bouncing some ideas off them. But it's on its way. It's not too far away now, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. I'll announce it on Twitter and stuff when it's available. But today we are back in Jawoodle Park to continue building on this idea. Now, I built this as a garage entryway, so like in a wall you can have this, and the zombies won't enter your base. They'll run around the outside of the wall and not actually do any entry points, and maybe run over to your killing corridor or whatever you might have. So this is like a safe way to stop the zombies coming in or leaving or whatever you want to do, however you want to play it, but you can come in and out kind of like a cattle grid. And it worked so supremely well that the next logical step of that one, the next way to escalate that, is to use that to build all the way around the outside of your base. So I'm thinking maybe if I can make a moat all the way around up against the wall, then maybe that will stop them getting to the wall entirely. Now, we have like tinkered with this kind of idea before. For example, over here where we tried to make an underground base, and some other instances as well. Usually having something inside that force field zone makes the zombie AI work, I suppose. It doesn't work reliably the way I wanted to break it. It actually works properly, and they try and get in and destroy your shit. So I'm curious how this is going to play out, and if this works, I've got another escalation that goes on top of that. So hopefully this will be a nice quick build so I can kind of move on to the next phase of it very quickly. So just to kind of start this off, 1, 2, 3 to about there, and then what is that, 3, 4 down, there we go. Go to there and grab you, and then go all the way down the other end. I'm going to make a nice big trench just out the front of this building here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 to there. So I want to go to about there. That'll be perfect. Just like that. Clear all that away. A nice big gully to put the arrow slots over the top of and get that force field working. That's a pretty easy thing now. We know how that works. We know what to do. 3 wide seems to be the magic number. 3 is the magic number. Ah, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Need some sand to replace that. Give me just regular sand. I know I could use sandstone, but I think if I just use regular sand, it might hopefully trick the AI into thinking that is still just regular terrain. That one comes all the way down here as well. But yeah, so if I build a trench all around the outside here with that force field going, then hopefully they won't ever actually make it to the wall to do any sort of damage. Not to there, to about there. There we go. Keep on digging. Thank God I have that tool. I mean, look, it's a little bit clunky to use, but if I didn't have it, it'd be so much harder to build this. I accidentally made some of the trenches a little bit wider than what I wanted to, so some of them are 3, some of them are 4. Well, whatever. Yeah, hopefully it'll still work just the same. If it doesn't, then I can fix it later. We need to get those the right way, as always, through there. Wait, which way are you guys? So you're going left to right, and you're going... No, wrong way, because you got to get around there, and then suddenly you're going to look ridiculous, because all the lines aren't going to line up. Let's just go back over here, actually, and just grab you and build from there. That already works. We know that. So let's just build off that one. It can stay red in the garage. We can have a nice purple moat around the outside. God, I regret ever starting that thing, because now I have to repeat it every bloody time I say it, or else people will jump in the comments and be like, oh, don't you like M&M anymore? I'm like, well, I mean, I just kind of said it the first time as a gag, and now it's my life. Nice and easy. Doesn't take long when you know what you're doing. Got the moat set up all the way around, so it's 4 deep at the back and 4 deep on the right-hand side, or I guess the left if you're at the front, and 3 deep on both the other sides, because I apparently can't count when I'm trying to do the blue block thing. Right, so that should hopefully stand up to the challenge. I want to know where the zombie is going to go this time. Let's put my body back in here, and as always, pop out my soul like that. No, get out of that. And then this one, there we go. And F6, no, F7, then F6, so I can actually get up my spawn menu. Cheerleader. All right, a bunch of Chelseas, please. Please show me what you got. Let's get your attention. All right, we're going to go now. Yep, no, don't like that, They're gonna go the other way. They don't know what to do. They're taking swings at each other, just kind of like we had with the underground base over there. They kind of just get disinterested and start taking swings at each other. And eventually, they will break their way through there. And that is one thing. I mean, that's annoying, but at least it's a result. We can kind of work with that. Because what I would rather with this kind of thing, just like kind of with this one, you want to, like when you're trying to control the zombie AI, you have to give them something to go for. You can't make a mouse, or a rat, if I could pronounce words properly. You can't make a mouse run through a maze properly unless you put the cheese at the end. You have to give them something to aim for. You have to give them a goal. That's why the killing corridor works, because as soon as they drop back down here, it's not like they suddenly have nowhere to go. They just run back around this way, back up here, up the stairs, and do it all over again. They always have a path. They always have a goal. But if I do this, I'm completely removing their entire reason for anything, really, from their entire AI pathing system. So, I mean, I'm trying to think of a way that I can make this more secure, and I've got a couple ideas going in my head, but like, I just want to make that abundantly clear that if you just make everything impossible, the zombies will have nothing to use. You have to give them something to at least aim for, or else they'll just start breaking your shit. With that little test done, it brings me to the next point, and the actual point of this episode, the whole reason that I'm here today, and that is I want to see if I can figure out a way to get like a nice enclosed area like that, and make it super safe against a zombie horde. We all know how the zombie works. For example, if you're over here inside a killing corridor, or on top of it for this example, the zombie horde is going to spawn, you know, 30, 40, 50 blocks away in any sort of direction. Not on the edge of your vision, but close enough to give you some issues, but far enough away that you have a chance to stop them before they make it to you. So I was looking at this, and like clearly, for the, since the dawn of time, if you wanted to stop an invasion of something, generally, you build a big fuck off wall. You build a big castle, and you sit inside it, and you laugh at all the plebs smashing their brains against the walls on the outside. But now with the new invention of the force field blocks, do you actually need to build walls anymore? Could I build like basically a big version of this and just lock out a whole area of the town without actually having to build some big walls? Because I don't know about you, if I'm out explorizing during the apocalypse and looting and doing all sorts of things and doing whatever makes my titties jiggle out on the plains and having a wonderful time doing it, and then when I come home, I don't want to have to drive all the way around to the actual entryway to get inside my walls. It'd be so much easier if I could just cruise up from any direction, wherever I may be, whatever town I may be in, roll up on my little safe area, and just cruise straight in, just like that. Like, that's so much more easier to me. So much more easier is not a good sentence, but I said it anyway. That's so much more easier to me just to do that than try and find the one part of the wall I can get through. So I want to know, can I lock down a big area doing nothing? I thought I heard a screamer somewhere, which would be interesting. Can I lock down a big area using nothing but force fields so I can ride my Jeep or my bike in wherever I damn well please? To test that properly, I've had to come out of Schmoodle Park, out into the outskirts of the park. I mean, it's not too far away, it's just over there somewhere, to this little house just on the outskirts of this town. I mean, it's a nice little town. I couldn't build a force field around the entire town, as much as that might seem like a really cool idea, just because the zombies will still spawn inside it. So then you're just trapping yourself in with the zombies, which seems like a reasonably bad idea if you intend on surviving for more than about 5 minutes. So, this little house here, I can totally imagine rolling up on this thing and deciding to make this your base. It's a cute little cottage. It looks nice. There's probably some zombies inside, but oh, there's one there, for example. But you can deal with that, you know? You can deal with a couple of zombies here and there without too much of an issue. But if you wanted to live here, and you didn't want to, like, ruin the aesthetic of the building, which, as you know, is always very important to me, to protect it against the Horde Night when it rolls up, maybe instead of building a big wall around the outside, you can just build your force field. So that's kind of my plan. I want to know, can I protect just a normal little house like this against a Horde by doing nothing but building a force field around the outside of it? That is my goal. That is my plan. I have no idea if it's going to work based on my previous experiments. I'm not holding out much hope, but you never know. We're just going to have to give it a crack. So you can kind of already see like the flattened, cleared area that the POY area has taken out. So it goes all the way around like that. There's this little stairwell here. I'm a little bit nervous about the underground area, but I can't really do much about it now. Trying to fill it up would just take too long, and also probably not make much of a difference to the zombie AI anyway. So I'm going to build my my support outskirts of it that we always build for the force field along the border of that POY area. Just because I know it's going to be all flat on the inside, so it makes it all nice and even. But I'm also thinking that the house is closer to the boundary here than it is on the other side. So I might even extend it out just a little bit. Let's see, what is it? It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so the support blocks are 8 blocks away from the wall. That seems reasonably easy to do. So from here, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There. Okay, so that's gonna be the outskirts of the support blocks there too. That's fine with me. It's all gonna line up in the end. Oh boy, it's gonna be a pretty big build though. There we go. The outer wall is starting to take shape and the house is sitting smack bang in the center, which is always a good thing. Aesthetics always matter. And I'm actually feeling kind of pretty confident about this, which is always dangerous because whenever I feel confident about stuff, that's usually when it turns on its head, like a koala falling out of its gum tree. But because this is all a POI area, this is like established ground. There's no question about this in the game's mind. This is already predetermined, pre-calibrated, and put in, just like pasted on the top, which is why it's always going to be a nice flat area. So I'm hoping that because that's the way the game is thinking about this area, I'm hoping that will mean that the zombies will think that they can't go through there, that it isn't something they can tunnel underneath, it isn't something that's going to mess with their AI too much, and they're going to fall for the trap. But we won't know just yet. I'm going to keep building the outskirts of this for now. Keep going. It's just, you know, it's just taking so long. Once again, as always, I'm going to bitch in a moment about not having my field tool, but that's all I really want right now. Well, that's not looking too good, is it? There's no floor to this. I mean, if I make the zombies fall into that, will they just fall to their death, like to the abyss? How do I do this? I don't understand what I've done. It's glitched out, and I kind of wish I could recreate it. Because imagine, instead of having a force field mode, imagine having just like an infinity drop mode. That would be perfect. If I put something here, will that fix it? Ah, there we go. Okay, I have to kind of place some blocks to try and get my ground back. Gotta get the ground back. Nope. Oh. Well, I guess that would have worked then. Maybe I should have tested it before I fixed it up. In fact, can I test it just over here? Just for shits and gigs. Let's go over here and let's see if we can get some zombies to fall to their deaths. Let's make this nice and quick and use our trusty 1/8 blocks. Just like that. I'm gonna need one in the middle, aren't I? Probably. Yep, well, that will do. That will do. And there. Okay, hopefully that's enough to get the zombies across, and Chelsea's gonna be the lucky girl to test it out for me. A bunch of them. I don't know why I spawned so many, actually. Probably didn't need that many. Alright, let's get this going. Let's get you. Let's pop out of my soul. Get my AI back up. Alright, go. Come on. You gotta come for me. Here we go. Straight across the bridge, please. Up. There you go, and... How do I do this? I want this as a moat. If there was a way I could do this reliably, you know I would be using this every goddamn day of the week. Who needs to fight zombies when you can send them to the abyss of hell? That's enough mucking around for one day. I do need to get the floor back for my bloody trench here, or else, I mean, look, if I can figure out a way to get that to happen reliably, I'll definitely go do some testing and see if I can figure that out one way or another. But if I can figure it out, I'll come back and make that an actual trench for myself. But for now, this is just gonna have to do. I have to go back to what we know and make sure that this is gonna work. Am I in my body right now? That's an interesting question I have to ask. I don't think I am. No? Okay, now I am. Alright. Sometimes you just accidentally get ripped out of your body and you don't know if you're a physical being or a spirit floating around. It's a real common problem. It keeps doing it. I don't know why. I want to know why. Please tell me. All I'm doing is I'm just clearing areas with my blue block, which means you definitely can't do that in survival, which is a bit upsetting. But look, if I just go clear selection... Oh, that one had a flaw. Did it replace... Oh, it didn't fix all the flaw. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. Who knows? Who knows anymore? Let's just get... Can I get you back, please? I really need you. There we go. Help me over, Flory. You're my only hope. The purple looks like much richer and much softer in the temperate biome rather than the desert biome. I spent so long in Shaboodle Park, which is only in the desert, that I'm kind of used to like that harsh yellow sun. Coming into like a softer light just makes it look a bit different to me. I'm not used to it. I'm kind of scared. I'm not sure if I prefer this or what I had before. But I need to build the rest of this moat all the way around, then run a couple of tests to see if it works. I can't just throw a horde at it straight off the bat. I need to make sure that it's working as planned before I put it through the final test. Honestly, if someone managed to patch in that field tool, I would crawl under the table and let them titty fuck me. This just takes so much of my time to do, and it's mind-numbing. I'm just doing nothing but moving around and holding right click. It's just killing me. I really need that tool. That is not a binding contract, by the way. Stay away from my titties. The first phase of the force field is done, but I'm a little bit worried about the edge over here because this part of the world actually has some altitude change rather than the very flat area that Shaboodle Park is in. Like being over here, it may not work as well as kind of it does on the flat ground. On top of that, if you're cruising around on your bicycle like this, if I jump onto you, then I can't ride in over here. But I mean, that's just kind of specific to this area. I can on the other side, and for most of these, if you choose a relatively flat area, then you will be able to get in and out without any dramas issues whatsoever. But I am going to have to put in some stairs, I think, on that other side. Or maybe I can just put in some, if I pick up my bike again, just some forest ground. Forest ground may actually do the trick. And hopefully it'll just kind of blend into the rest of it. So I'll just go along here like that. Oh, I really wish there was terrain, like landscaping tools. If I could like shape dirt a little bit better, rather than just like doing a little bit of damage to kind of hope it fits in. Like, I'd love to make like rolling hills like this. Let's just like imitate Tuscany or something and get some nice undulations going instead of just like hard edges all over the freaking joint. I think that's gonna have to be about the best I can possibly do with that, just as it is right now. And I'm gonna prop myself up right up here on top of the world so I can see everything that's happening and they don't actually try and dig to me. Because underground is a bad time, so if I'm up in the air, hopefully that works out a little bit better to me. Let's spawn them over here, actually, just to avoid that problem area just for now. There we go. No, that was the wrong gun. Let's get this one. Alright, good. Chels? No, look, I'm just over there. I'm not that far away. For God's fun. I'll run across the roof somehow with... Oh, frames. Frames, please. Run down here. This is dangerous. Running across a second-story roof without any idea where my feet are actually going. Alright, what's going to happen here? Yep, they run up. Oh! Oh! What? What are you doing? What are you coming across there for? That's not for you. Ah, damn it. That's sometimes the force field just decides not to work. That's really annoying. So just here is the issue. I don't know what the issue is, but there's definitely an issue. So maybe, I mean, can I just like cheat it and just go like this? I can't bother digging out the whole bloody area again. Can I just go like that and then just replace a couple of the blocks on the inside with arrow slots? Because if I could do that, that would make my life far, far easier. Just go like there, and then like this, and like that, and like that, and like that. So just make their little hidey hole they're cruising through just a little bit harder for them to access. Get rid of all your bodies, please. Please stop taking up my force field with your fleshy mess. Out here, grab you, and please come over here, please, Chels. It's just running on one of them's head. What are you gonna do this time? Straight across again! Why? That makes no sense. What are you doing? Or is it these stupid bushes? Are the bushes getting in the way and causing problems? I've given you everything you want. I've made it fatter there in the middle. And now you just got it the other way. Oh, damn it. I mean, at least I'm not going through the middle anymore. I went through like several different tests of different kind of layouts and stuff like that underneath here, taking out blocks and replacing blocks and whatnot, and they still just ran straight through the middle. But at least now they're going a slightly different way. So I guess... I mean, maybe I just can't be lazy anymore. Maybe I do have to extend this all the way out here. I don't really want to, but I think that looks like it's the only way I've got to get it to work. Alright, let's try that. What are you going to do this time? Oh, they've stopped. They're thinking. They're wondering. Okay, good. We resolved it. So I'm not sure. Look at them. They're just dancing together. This one's off by herself. Get rid of her. These two are just doing the tango. Oh, that's a bit adorable. You two can just like dance the night away while I'll stand up here and watch creepily from the roof. I mean, I probably need to get a hobby, don't I? Watching two girls dance together is definitely creepy. So now we get to the part where I need to try and find a solution. So just like in Hardcore Survival with like that awesome base that I built in that playthrough, that was a great series. I love that series. But whenever the screamers showed up, they were trying to get into the walls to get me, so they would walk around to the only access point that was open to them, which was the killing corridor. So even before they found me, even before they like whether they were aggroed or started screaming or anything like that, they made their way around to the only access point and came in through the corridor. So I'm thinking that's what I'm gonna have to start thinking about doing here. I need to give them a way in. We know that if I don't, they'll just break their way through the arrow slots because when they first brought out the Alpha 17 AI, one of the notes in there was that if they can't get to you, like if you just close yourself into a room, then the zombies will just destroy everything. So that's what they're doing. They're going to destroy everything mode, and I need to stop them from doing that. So I need to give them a sliver of hope for them to run to try and get me, and I think that's going to take some sort of killing corridor-esque using that 1/8 block drop or a hatch drop or whatever. I called it a hatch drawbridge way back in the day, but using those smaller blocks than normal to try to give them a way in, but still only utilizing the force field for actual protection. So blocking off their path like this means I can still ride my bike in and out if it was more flat ground, more stable terrain, but it should keep the zombies coming in from a certain angle at all points. And I mean, the bonus with this is you could definitely build yourself a killing corridor from this now, because you're just using this instead of a proper wall, so you could actually give them their way in as a killing corridor, like here for example. In fact, I'll use this because it's like the weird odd one out now that I had to try and patch their goddamn working AI. But yeah, so if you want to do that, that would be fine. I'm not going to build a killing corridor here because I can't really be bothered. But I will build a little bridge over the top, just for something for them to do that's going to drop them down outside the wall still, so they can continue going do-si-do outside my walls. I'm taking all the lessons I've learnt previously, and I'm going to put some barbed wire across here. I've built a longer drop than I normally do. I normally build only like these 2 gaps here, but I put an extra third one. I've increased it by 50% just to try and make sure they drop outside of the force field. So yeah, this could be a corridor if you really wanted it to. I don't want it to be though. I just want this to be a way for them to run up and then fall down and do a nice little loop around here. So I will get some stairs, whatever kind of stairs, whatever, just regular stainless steel. I mean, sure, I could probably use concrete, but I'll just repaint them anyway. The stairs aren't the important part. And then all the way down, just like that, just so they have a nice little easy way to get up and down, so they won't come and bug me while I'm inside my lovely little cabin over there. I mean, look, it's a lot of construction work, I'm not gonna lie, but you gotta go through the effort sometimes to get the result you want. You can't just roll in on day one, build yourself a picket fence, and expect the zombies not to come crashing through. Sometimes you gotta put in the legwork. So that should do just fine. There's some ladders on the other side in case I want to pop my head up and see how it's going, but to the zombie brains, that will look like a very appetizing way to get in and get their appetizer, being me. So I should be able to spawn, in fact, we'll give it a proper test. We'll spawn a bunch of Chelseas out here, so like not right next to it, so they actually have to do some work to get to me. And I'm gonna stand right here, right on the inside, and try and get their attention. I don't have my gun anymore. They've already seen me though, so fire some rounds into the air anyway. Yeah, look at that. Straight up, nice and easy. Up, over the top, drop down, and they're like, oh no, the invisible wall. They can't get me. So even if I'm standing right here, they've got no hope. They've got nothing. They're wandering around aimlessly stupid, trying to find a way in, and meanwhile, I'm safe as houses with nothing between me and the zombified dickbags. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're leapfrogging around. Can you leave? Yep, thank you. Alright, even though you got halfway across, you'll go back the other way. Alright, the design works. Thank God. You gotta give them something to aim for. You gotta give them some hope. You have to put a weakness into your system, because if it's foolproof, they'll just break it. Before we get to the big important test, I've changed a little bit about this thing, and I've got rid of all the flat surfaces for them, because I want to see just kind of what happens. I've never done something like this before, where there's no actual flat area, because I've never built something just to trick the AI and not be used to actually kill them. So now when they come up, there is nowhere for them to stand, and hopefully they'll just topple rather, is the word I'm looking for, not toggle, not toggling anything, just toppling over the edge. Now fall down here before they even get close to the force field, because the only thing I'm really worried about here is maybe a couple of them get lucky, bounce across a couple of these, or stand on each other's heads and make it to the middle. And if they make it to the middle, then they're like 50% of the way, and like one lucky jump or one little like glitch in their AI might mean that they make it all the way across, and then I'm in some serious trouble. But oh, there's a bit of barbed wire there. Just go like this, and no, that's the wrong one. Go in the right spot, please. There. Okay, all back to normal. So here's kind of the scenario that I built this base for, right? You got a whole bunch of Jeffreys all out here hanging out in the woods, and you're cruising around in your motorbike, and you don't want them to follow you back to your base. So even though they're all chasing you, getting real mad, turn off my view by steering, they can chase you all they want, even if you hit the big boulders, and you just cruise over here and drop into your base, and then suddenly they've got nowhere to go. You can come in easy as you like. You don't have to get off and like to open doors or anything like that. You just drive straight in with no encumbrance whatsoever, and they have to go the long way around. And then hopefully they'll jump up there and yeah, look, straight off the edge. Just like that. Look, that's going to be a big pile of zombies at one point, and then you could probably just get yourself some no, that's the how you spell it, some Molotovs. If they're all grouped up over there, why not get some mollies and just start launching? Get them over there, set them all on fire, throw one up the top too, for good measure. See, a couple times they kind of skip across there like a zombified stone. But you can just set them all on fire, sit back and relax, and like sizzle some snags on their burning corpses. So I think with that, I'm all good to go. So I'm going to go get myself a nice comfy place to sit, like right here on the nice little couch, right in front of the fire. I can just put my feet up, have a lovely cup of coffee or a cup of tea, whichever you prefer, and you can just sit here and enjoy yourself while the horde rages on. So let's get that going all the way to where? Right about... Oh, yep, right about there. That'll do. I'll even speed it up a little bit. Alright, this should work perfectly. I'm really hoping. I've got some torches around the outside so I can actually see what happens, but I'm really thinking this will be foolproof. Here they come. They're coming from the opposite end of the Fool's Bridge. What are they going to do? Am I going to break it inside? Nope, they're all good. Look at that. They're all going around. So even though I don't have a wall, as far as you and I can tell, to them, I really, really do. And this house, despite having 0 reinforcements at all, is going to stand a day 50 horde. I'm already confident. The horde's going to be going for 5 seconds, and I'm already so sure that everything is going to be fine. In fact, you know what? I'm so sure with me sitting just inside. Where am I? I'm in here, sitting on the couch, looking at the fire, drinking my coffee, slurp, 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 easy as you like, staying up all night with some lovely caffeine. And I'm so confident about this, I'm going to leave the camera here, turn off the HUD, and I'm going to go make myself a brew. Thanks again to our patrons for buying me a coffee machine. I'm going to be over here making a coffee, and the horde can just do what it wants. I'll be right back. Right, well, there we go. Coffee gotten. That's way too hot for me to drink straight away. How are we looking? Is anything changed? Anything's not? They're all still doing the loop. They are fine. So you could really, if I put this on the right way, there we go. Got all like some fingerprints all over my nice shiny headphones. But you could really just sit here all you want. You don't have to do anything. I mean, they're falling over. Oh, someone just died and dropped a loot bag, it looks like. Did someone just drop a loot bag over there? Is that somehow some loot dropped? I don't know how you died. It's up to the gods at this point, I guess. But like, they could just do that all day. And if I ever need to leave, I mean, if I built this on the level ground on the inside, which I would every other time, it's just because the ground is so undulating here that I had to build it a little bit differently. Like everyone I've built back in Jabuda Park has always been flat on both sides, except for the very, very first one. So you could just jump on your bike and ride off whenever you wanted. You don't need to open any doors. You don't need to make it around any walls. You're safe and secure, and your range of access is 360 degrees. Oh my god, that's really hot. It's burnt my tongue. Damn it. They have managed to destroy one piece of barbed wire, but something that I've just noticed is they're not taking a swing as they fall. So you know, like in the killing corridor normally, when they fall through the 1/8 block at the end, they usually take a swing, and like the weakest point of that is those 2 1/8 blocks, the second one in that row, because they hit that on their way down. But these guys aren't taking a swing as they fall. They're just falling and starting all over again. And I don't know if that's to do with these steep tip blocks, or if it's because there's no actual flat area for them to stand on before they fall, or if there's like, as far as their AI is concerned, that they're just like falling off a staircase, or they're taking stairs even. I don't know. That seems to be another little glitch we've discovered, again, accidentally in their AI. I wonder if there's a way I can exploit that. I need to do some more testing to figure out exactly what is going on there, but I can just leave them there. It's the middle of a horde night. I'm still in here sipping away on my coffee. How's your coffee? Oh, you're now holding a gun. I don't want you to hold a gun. Can you hold your... Yep, there you go. You drink your coffee. I'll drink mine. Oh, and burn my mouth again. Why did I think that would go better the second time? Oh my god, that hurt. Anyway, these guys are over here having a wonderful time. I'm having a wonderful time. That design worked perfectly. I've secured a POI cabin with 0 work to the actual cabin. I built an invisible wall and like an easy link in the chain for them to think they can exploit. But I'm safe as houses in my house. So I'll have to come back and find some more ways to exploit their AI in another episode, because this episode is done. So thank you guys for watching. Most of all, thank you to the patrons of Patreon who made this episode possible. If you liked, smash the like button down below and subscribe to this channel. Follow me on Twitter. If I don't talk to you there first, I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one.